Hey guys, it's Randall again, back to do a video about the NFL game on Thursday night, Seattle Seahawks against the Los Angeles Rams. So we're going to click on this odds page and go through a few things that I like in this game. So looking at this game based on last week, the Hawks played at San Francisco and they actually won that game 28-21. The Niners had two turnovers in that game, and Seattle actually was outgained by 200 yards, 200 plus actually, in that game. So, that's a game that San Francisco probably should have won. A couple costly turnovers. Jimmy G obviously did not come back in the second half. So, yeah, I don't really think this Hawks team is all that good. I was actually on San Francisco last week. I like the angle of the revenge from last year, where San Francisco lost both games against Seattle, and then they were the favorite. Last week in that game. But I'm not a big fan of Jimmy G, but I think that losing him and not having him in that second half, played a little bit of a factor. Lance, had a turnover, and the Niners ended up losing that game, and Seattle won, and they now get to play the Rams this week. It's the Thursday night game. The Rams are off of a loss against Arizona. I'm not sure anybody saw that coming. However, I did. I made a video last week about that, highlighting that I thought that Arizona had a legit chance to, win the game against the Rams and definitely cover. Kyler Murray played awesome in that game, and it was just a beatdown. The game really was over at halftime. Cardinals look great. They will play San Francisco this week, so it'll be interesting to see, how they play in that Sunday game against San Francisco. Arizona's back at home, but in this particular game, I think it is a buy low spot on the Rams. Everybody was all over the Rams, up until last week. They love to bet them. They bet them in the first 3 weeks, and the Rams covered every single one of those games. They covered against the Bears. I'm sorry, they did not cover against the Colts. They did cover against the Bucks though, and everybody loves Sean McVay, and everybody who hated Matthew Stafford is now on the Matthew Stafford bandwagon, I guess. So the Rams, they have an explosive offense. Cooper Cup, Robert Woods. They have some explosive big play receivers, and Stafford can still definitely sling the ball. Deshaun Jackson can get deep, on the defense. So I really like the Rams in this particular spot. Like I said, I think it's a buy low. I think everybody's kind of back on Seattle. Most everybody was on Seattle last week. They won them some money. So Seattle at home catching a couple of points. I believe that spread is two. Let's see. So that spread right now is Rams minus 2.5. So it opened one, so the money is definitely there for the Rams. From the sharp bettors, I think they're looking at that spot, like I said, of a buy low. On LA, the public lost last week with them, so now they're ready to give up on them, and they bet on Seattle and they won them money. So back to the well with Seattle, and Seattle catching points at home with the 12th man. Kind of hard to pass up. As a public better. For me, like I said, it would have to be Rams or pass. Um, when I look at my fantasy model for this game, I expect for Cooper Cup, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett, all to have big games. If you look at the total receptions, Cooper Cup over 6.5 minus 150 on DK. DK over 5.5 minus 140, and then Lockett over 5.5 plus 115. Would say my favorite of those would probably be Cooper Cup, but I'm not going to lay 150 a player prop. I mean, anything can happen. I've had the last couple of same game parlays that I've had. I had Christian McCaffrey. He exits the game early, and I don't even remember the other one. But back-to-back games. DJ Chark against the Bengals. Had him to score a touchdown. Everything gets home, but they get injured, and you know that's just the way it goes. So player props, the receptions, the receiving yards, all of those are tough to bet on. I did look at the anytime touchdown scores, and DK Metcalf on DraftKings is plus 105. Other than that, Cups I believe is minus 130, and Lockett I think is minus 105. So I don't like to lay juice on the anytime touchdown scores, but if you're looking to potentially do a daily lineup on DraftKings where you're just doing that specific game, Cup, DK Metcalf, Lockett might be a good a good pick for your 1.5 times multiplier that they give you on that. So I really think that this game is probably going to be a shootout. I will preface that by saying I'm horrible at totals in the NFL, so you might take that with a grain of salt. But this total, just trying to look here. Oh wow, okay, so it's even higher than I thought. It's 54 and a half. So I mean that's a lot of points, but I think that the Rams are going to be able to do pretty well whatever they want against this Seattle team. And the Rams defense was somewhat exposed last week against the Cardinals, and Wilson has not looked great this year. I mean, he's had his moments, but it doesn't look like the Russell Wilson of old that we're used to. But I definitely think that this game probably should go over. But I also like the over in the Vikings Browns game last week, over 51.5, 14-7 final. So maybe take the under, if you're looking for a totals bet. But I do like the over in this game. I like the Rams, and I think Cup, DK, and Lockett, should have big games, and there should be a lot of scoring in this one. So thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned, and we will continue to produce videos about NFL games, college football games that'll be going on later